In a world where every glance tells a secret, and every silence speaks of love, there comes a feeling that no words can capture. Yearning. The ballroom glows in soft golden light. Strings hum quietly in the background. Laughter dances through the air, but beneath the music, something deeper lingers. The unspoken ache between two souls who haven't yet found the courage to meet halfway. That is where Bridgerton finds its magic, not in the kisses or confessions, but in the almosts, the touches that never happen, the words left unsaid, the stolen looks that burn brighter than fire. This season, Bridgerton returns to what it does best, bringing back yearning. And no one carries it better than Luke Thompson and Yerin Ha. As Benedict Bridgerton and Sophie Beckett, they breathe life into a love story that feels timeless, tender, and achingly real. Their story isn't about instant love, it's about the kind that grows in quiet spaces, in the gap between what is said and what is felt. Luke, known for giving Benedict both charm and depth, steps into season 4 with a calm intensity. His eyes tell a story before his words do, a man searching for meaning beyond luxury and family duty. Yerin, graceful yet grounded, enters as Sophie, a woman shaped by hardship but guided by heart. Together, their energy feels like two different melodies finding harmony, soft at first, then unforgettable. Every scene between them is painted with longing. When their eyes meet across the room, the air thickens. When Sophie turns away, his breath catches, and so does ours. It's not about what happens, but what doesn't. The audience doesn't just watch them, they feel them. That's the essence of yearning, wanting something so deeply that even the waiting feels alive. Bridgerton Season 4 doesn't just give us another romance, it gives us a reminder that love, at its truest, isn't loud or perfect. It's quiet, it's patient, and sometimes it's found in the longing before the touch. The camera drifts through the soft morning light over Mayfair. The world of Bridgerton is waking, silk gowns whispering against marble floors, the soft click of carriage wheels echoing through the streets. Everything looks perfect, polished, untouched by time. But beneath that perfection, something stirs, a hunger for freedom, a quiet pull towards something real. That's where Benedict Bridgerton's story begins this season, not at the center of the ballroom, but slightly outside of it. Watching the glittering chaos with a painter's eye, Luke Thompson brings this moment to life with a stillness that says more than words ever could. You see it in the way he hesitates before stepping forward, as if he's caught between duty and desire. His world is beautiful, yes, but also suffocating. He wants more than titles and tea parties. He wants truth, even if it breaks the rules. And then there's Sophie Beckett. Yerin Ha plays her with a softness that hides steel. She doesn't belong to the world of lords and ladies, yet she moves through it with quiet grace. Every look she gives, every careful breath, feels like a secret. She is the kind of woman who dreams with her eyes open, aware that what she wants might never be hers. Still, she hopes when Benedict and Sophie's paths finally cross. It doesn't feel like a meeting. It feels like recognition, two souls who have been walking toward each other without knowing it. No grand entrance, no sudden spark. Just a moment suspended in time, where everything changes and neither of them knows why. That's what makes Bridgerton Season 4 different. It's not only about romance. It's about yearning for more than what the world allows. The costumes shimmer, the chandeliers glow, but the true beauty lies in what's hidden, the silent ache in the spaces between. Because love in Bridgerton is never just about the kiss. It's about the pause before it, the slow breath, the almost touch, and the promise that something real might finally begin. There's a certain kind of magic that can't be rehearsed. The kind that happens in the spaces between two people. When Luke Thompson looks at Yerin Ha, something shifts in the air. It's not loud. It's not obvious. It's quiet, deliberate, and alive. It's the kind of connection that doesn't need a single line of dialogue to be felt. Luke once said in an interview that he believes the most powerful moments are the ones where nothing happens. And you can see that truth written across his face in every scene. As Benedict, he carries years of restraint, of wanting and waiting. In the smallest movements, a hesitant glance, a half smile that fades too soon. He doesn't chase the moment. He lets it breathe. That's what makes his yearning believable. Yerin Ha matches that energy with her own quiet fire. Sophie Beckett is a woman torn between fear and desire, her heart pulled towards something forbidden, her mind whispering all the reasons she shouldn't. Yerin captures that storm beautifully. Not through grand gestures, but through eyes that shimmer with emotion she refuses to show. She doesn't need to say she loves him. We already know. Together, they create tension so delicate that even a single look feels electric. It's the kind of chemistry that makes you hold your breath without realizing it. When Benedict brushes past Sophie, you can feel the weight of everything they're both afraid to admit. Every time she steps away, it feels like a promise broken too soon. Their love isn't perfect. It's fragile, messy, human. But that's why it works. On set, the directors called their dynamic, controlled chaos to people constantly on the edge of something beautiful and dangerous. That's what Bridgerton is best. It takes a single heartbeat, stretches it into a symphony, and lets us feel every note. Luke and Yerin don't just play characters. They remind us of something we've all felt, that moment when your heart races, but you can't move, when you want to speak, but silence feels safer. That's not just acting, that's art. Asterisk behind every stolen glance and half smile in Bridgerton. There's a quiet orchestra of artists making the moment feel alive. The yearning we see between Luke Thompson and Yerin Ha isn't just born from performance, it's sculpted by everything around them. The glow of candlelight, the rustle of silk, the faint tremor of strings in the background. This season, the camera becomes a silent witness to love's slow burn. Directors use close-up shots like brushstrokes, letting every flicker of emotion linger a second longer than comfort allows. The frame doesn't chase the actors, it waits for them, as if the world itself is holding its breath. When Benedict's gaze meets Sophie's, the lens moves closer, not to intrude, but to listen. The silence between them becomes music. Lighting plays its own role, soft and golden. It wraps around them like memory. Every shadow is deliberate, every glow intentional. When Benedict paints, the light falls across his canvas the same way it falls across Sophie's face, linking art and love as one. When they part, the brightness fades, leaving behind the echo of what almost was. It's visual storytelling at its most intimate, love told through color, texture, and timing. Even the costumes whisper emotion. Benedict's darker tones mirror his search for meaning, while Sophie's muted gowns speak of quiet strength, a woman hiding in plain sight. The way she moves, the way her gloves slip from her hands. Nothing is random. Every fold of fabric carries the weight of her secret. Behind the camera, the directors understood one truth. Yearning isn't in dialogue, it's in pause. It's in the way the camera dares not cut away too soon, forcing the audience to feel that it just as the characters do. Every frame, every movement becomes part of the tension, and when the music swells, slow violins, faint piano, it doesn't demand attention. It drifts like a sigh, soft but full of ache. The whole world of Bridgerton seems to lean toward them, as if the city itself is rooting for these two lost souls to find each other. That's the secret behind Season 4's allure. It's not just what happens on screen. It's the invisible artistry that makes us believe in yearning all over again. Asterisk, some stories don't shout, they whisper, they unfold slowly. Like dawn breaking through fog, and Bridgerton Season 4 is one of those stories. It doesn't ask for your attention, it holds it in quiet moments, in the way Benedict looks at Sophie as if seeing color for the first time, or the way she turns away, knowing that love like theirs isn't meant to survive, yet hoping it might. Yearning, that's the word everyone keeps coming back to, but it's more than a feeling here. It's the heartbeat of the entire season. It's the reason why a single glance between Luke Thompson and Yerin Ha feels heavier than 100 confessions. It's the art of wanting something you're not supposed to have, and still believing in it anyway. Asterisk, this season dares to slow down in a world that moves too fast. It lets us sit with longing. to feel the weight of unspoken emotion. Every episode becomes a study in restraint, a reminder that true love doesn't always rush in. Sometimes it waits in silence until both hearts are ready to be seen. Luke and Yerin don't just play Benedict and Sophie. They embody the kind of love that feels ancient and modern all at once. His quiet struggle for meaning, her strength wrapped in gentleness together, they bring back what Bridgerton had in its earliest days, that ache beneath beauty. The yearning behind every waltz and whispered secret. And maybe that's what makes this story unforgettable. It doesn't promise a perfect ending. It promises something better: truth, that no matter the mask, the title, or the distance, love always finds its way through. Even in silence, even in longing, even when the world says it shouldn't. Because in the end, Bridgerton has never been just about romance. It's about rediscovering that ache we all carry, the hope that somewhere out there, someone is looking back at us with the same quiet hunger. Season 4 brings that feeling home again. It brings back yearning and reminds us why we fell in love with this world in the first place. Asterisk when the final note fades and the candlelight softens into shadows. What remains is not the kiss, not the dance, but the feeling. The quiet ache that hums beneath the surface. That's the soul of Bridgerton and the gift that Luke Thompson and Yerin Ha bring to Season 4. They remind us that love isn't always loud or certain. Sometimes it's the echo left in a glance, the warmth that lingers long after the moment has passed. As the time moves on, the carriages roll, the gowns shimmer, the gossip begins anew. Benedict and Sophie's story stays suspended in the heart. It's not about what they say, but what they don't. The longing that never quite disappears, the hope that refuses to fade. It's a kind of love that exists in between art and reality, between choice and fate, between two souls who found something they weren't supposed to. And maybe that's why this story matters, because we've all been there, standing on the edge of something beautiful, afraid to reach for it. We've all known the silence between two heartbeats, where everything feels possible and impossible at once. Bridgerton doesn't just tell you us that story. It invites us to feel it, to remember what it's like to want, to wait, to hope. In the end, yearning isn't pain, it's truth that something inside us still believes that love, in all its fragile glory, still finds a way to survive the world's expectations. That somewhere in the hush of the ballroom or the stillness of a painted canvas, two people found courage in their longing. Asterisk the ballroom is empty now. The candles have burned low, leaving trails of smoke that curl into the night. But even as the music fades, the feeling remains, the quiet hum of something unfinished, something beautiful. That's the essence of yearning. It doesn't end when the scene does. It stays with you, in the soft ache of memory, in the echo of a name you never said out loud. That's what Luke Thompson and Yerin Ha bring to Bridgerton Season 4, not just romance, but resonance. Their story reminds us that true connection doesn't need perfection, it only needs truth. Behind every stolen look and trembling breath, there's a heartbeat, raw, fragile, human. And that's what this season gives us, the courage to feel again. The courage to believe that love, no matter how impossible, is worth the ache. So when the credits roll and the world outside feels a little colder, remember this: love doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it returns as a whisper, a brush of fingers, a shared glance that says, "I found you at last."